Dr. Early, I have 6 o'clock.
Welcome to the February 12th, 2026 Parma City School District Board of Education regular meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, we moved it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Present.
Ms. Kirpick,
Present.
Ms. McTaggart,
Present.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Present.
Mr. Reyes.
Present.
Before we move into our agenda, I want to thank everyone for the time and preparation that goes into reviewing our materials in advance. The agenda and supporting documentation were distributed earlier this week via email to support thoughtful discussion and effective decision-making as a board. Adequate review helps us work efficiently and effectively together and ensures that we are prepared for any action items this evening. This aligns with Board Policy 0123, which reflects our shared commitment to being informed on issues before us. With that in mind, can we confirm that all members have received and reviewed materials for tonight's meeting? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kirpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Thank you. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-50, approval of the board meeting agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-50. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kirpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-02-50 has been approved. At this time, we will turn it over to information to the board from Dr. Hunt.
Thank you, Dr. Early. Good evening, everyone. A few items for you. First, we're excited once again to host the Pierogi Dinner this year in collaboration with Partners in Education. We certainly appreciate their efforts in supporting the school district. All proceeds from this benefit will benefit the foundation and ultimately provide opportunities for the betterment of our students and schools. So the date of the Pierogi Dinner, mark your calendars, is March 6th, 2026 at Normandy High School. And those times will be from 3:30 to 7 p.m. We also have another exciting opportunity that we are supporting again this year. The Community Egg Hunt is back. It will be held at Byers Field on Saturday, March 21st, 2026. Many of our staff have supported this event in the past, and we certainly appreciate their continued generosity. We are inviting our staff to help make this egg hunt a success again this year. And so we're still looking for volunteers, and I believe we have many that have signed up already. You'll also find this on our Facebook page. The flyer is located there, and it's also on the district calendar. Something I started when I got to Parma is the Did You Know videos. I'm going to continue posting those this semester. The last video we did was posted a week ago and was specific to the levy, the ballot issue on May 5th. It's basically a high-level factual overview regarding the request, and it could be viewed on YouTube and on our social media sites. If you could pull up the calendar. So each year, we are responsible for developing a school calendar for board approval. So this will be the calendar. You're not going to approve this tonight. This will be the first time that you're seeing this. There's a 30-day period before you can actually approve it. So maybe I can just walk through a couple of highlights. I'm sure you probably can't see it in the back. So next year, proposed for the board to consider, our first day of school for students would be August 25th. Labor Day in September on the 7th, a couple of days in October, NEOEA Day on the 9th, no school for students on the 30th. In November, We'll hit the end of the first quarter, and Thanksgiving break built in there, the 25th through the 27th. December's winter break would be the 21st through the 31st. In January, we'll return on the 4th, Martin Luther King Day, and second quarter ending in January. President's Day in February on the 15th. Spring break in March from the 22nd to the 26th. No school for students on that returning Monday on the 29th. April, full month of April. And then in May, we'll have a teacher PD day. No school on Memorial Day on the 31st. Last day of school for students, June 3rd. And last day for teachers on June 4th. So that's for your consideration. That will come back around. There's no vote on this evening. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Hunt. Mr. Nucio?
Yes, I have my 5-year forecast to present.
Thank you. Wherever you prefer is fine.
Okay, I'm glad everyone came out for the 5-year forecast presentation. So we will go through it. Melissa, could you advance to the next slide, please? So we have to do the 5-year forecast twice a year. And it used to be every May and every November. And now they switched it to October and February. And then next year they're switching again to August and February. It doesn't make any sense why they're doing all these switches, but the legislator made it these dates. So the 5-year forecast includes everything in the general fund and a couple other funds, emergency levy fund. We do have emergency levies, but we put all the money in the general fund. Some school districts, like when I was at Clearview Schools, we put our emergency levy money in Fund 016, but we just put everything in the general fund. So the purpose of the 5-year forecast is so you can do long-range planning for the school district. It serves as a basis for our 412 certificates, just means we have enough money to pay our teachers and all our bills and provide input for the community. So before we get into the forecast, I always say that the forecast is a snapshot in time. This is what it looks like on February 12th. I mean, it might change in March and April, but as of right now, we have all the assumptions and all our data, and this is what it looks like right now. The forecast will change. It always does. So in the 5-year forecast, there's the notes to the assumption, which I will post on their website, which are about 25 pages long and very, very exciting. The 5-year forecast encourages district management team to examine future years. So we want to look out 3 years. 3 or 4 years, how are we doing financially, not just this year. Let's go to the next page, Melissa. Oops. So the 5-year forecast, people might ask, why is it different in October than it is in February? But since my October forecast, we've had a couple months, we've closed the accounting month of October, November, December, January, and we take those numbers and we update the forecast accordingly. It's kind of like a weather forecast. If you look on Monday, what's the high going to be on Sunday? I think I looked and they said it was going to be 36 degrees. And then I look on Tuesday, Wednesday, now they're saying 45 degrees. So they have more data as it gets closer to the time, so they update the forecast accordingly. And no forecast is going to be 100% accurate because you get more information, more data, you update it accordingly, so you have better information. Go to the next page. So the forecast is into 3 different sections. You got the revenue and expenditures. It's divided into 2 sections, and it's made up of state and local sources. Most of our money comes from property taxes. I'm sure everyone knows that. About 25% comes from state funding. The other 75% comes from property taxes. Expenditures, of course, are mainly salaries and benefits because we are a people business. We employ teachers and staff and all kinds of other people to assist the district. So right now we are positive through fiscal year 28. Right now we're in fiscal year 26. So next year is 27 and the following year is 28. You can see the blue line up there. It's flat going from 27 on because last year the county paid us $11.7 million too much in property taxes. So we work out a repayment plan with them. So that decreases our revenue in the next couple of years. And I mentioned that at the bottom of the slide. So there's a lot of bills, House bills that affected our money. There's all kinds of legislation, ways to take away our money. So one of them is moving the 20 mil floor, which right now doesn't affect us, but when they do a reappraisal in a couple years, which they actually, they moved it out another year, we will lose money because we're not getting, we'll be above the 20 mil floor. The 20 mil floor, it's tough to explain, but we'll be losing $7.2 million because of this legislation. So House Bill 186 is another bill. It's like they call it the clawback bill, or it's some credit you get, but it doesn't seem to affect us. It affects a lot of school districts, but we don't think it will affect us. House Bill 309 allows the County Budget Commission to say, well, you guys are getting too much property taxes. We're just going to take some from you. And they do that in Geauga County right now. And Geauga County, I think, was the model for the state passing that legislation. So also, last couple weeks ago, came out that our reappraisal is going to be in tax year 30, which will be in calendar year 29. But they pushed it out 1 year. Most people say, well, that's no big deal. What's the difference? But when they do the reappraisal, we get a bump on our inside millage, which is going to amount to about a $1.4 million loss because they bumped it out one more year. So go to the next page, Melissa. So House Bill 129, as I was talking about, the House, it affects the 20 mil floor, and also emergency levies, which we had now, are we counted towards the 20 mil floor. That's why we're going to be above it. Go to the next page. House Bill 186. They passed something where they're going to have a benefit for taxpayers where you have to pay less money, and the state's going to reimburse us that 2.88%. But as always, the state takes away that money. They say they're going to reimburse you. So at some point, we're going to lose that money. But they're saying for 29 and 30, we're going to get that money. But for 31, we might not. So it could be another way they're taking away our property taxes. House Bill 309, I had mentioned this earlier, that the County Budget Commission has the power to reduce taxes to the communities, or to school districts, or any other government they want, based on their opinion we get too much money. So House Bill 335 is capping the inside growth, so they don't want property values to go up 35% and people get taxed quite a bit. It's not equal 35 to 35, but this is capping it at a rate with a deflator, so it can only go up so much. So funding for schools in the future, there's always new property taxes, new language it's going to get rid of. Get rid of us. They're doing away with fixed sum emergency levies. The emergency levies we have now, you're allowed to pass them for one more time for a 5-year period. So we have our property taxes, emergency levies expire in 30, 31, and 34. We could renew those for one more time for a 5-year period, then they fall off. Unless you're in fiscal emergency, watch, or caution, then they'll allow you to pass a new one. But you have to be in bad shape for them to allow it. Go on to the next one. There's also something called the piggyback, which is done in Lorain County. So if you own your house and you live in the house, you get a 10% credit and then a 2.5% credit. They're allowing counties to pass a resolution saying we're going to double that for you. So it could be 20 and 5. So it could be up to 25% that they'll give back on this credit. They passed it in Lorain County. I know North Ridgeville is getting hit hard on it, but they did not pass that in Cuyahoga County. And they'd have to pass a resolution every year to do so, so they might not do that next year. Go to the next page, Melissa. So we have about 1 month of cash through fiscal year 28, and cash balance falls sharply in 2030, as the graph would show. Go on, next page. So our estimated revenue, we used to be on the formula, which means for every student we get more money, but we're going to be on the temporary transition guarantee, which means as we get more students, we're not getting any more money for those students. It's because our property values have gone up and our enrollment has gone down. So we're on a guarantee and we no longer get additional money for students enrolling. So most of our funding is going to be from the local property taxes. As you see, the dark red is the local share of the property taxes, and the orange would be the state share. We only get about 25% now from the state. It used to be in the 30s, but it has dropped, and we're now at 25%. So House Bill 96 was the bill the state passed, but they didn't update any of the inputs. So we're still based on fiscal year 22 levels. Everything the state does, they make us do reporting on students and how much teachers make and stuff, and they update that data all the time, but they didn't update our data for funding. So we're still stuck at fiscal year 22 levels. We expect 1.3%, negative 1.3% revenue, while expenditures are going to go up 3%, so that's why our fund balance is going to be going down. So right now, we're in fiscal year 26. In 27 and 28, we're positive all 3 years. But as we move on to fiscal year 27, the third year is negative. If the third year is negative, then the state could put us in fiscal precaution, which means probably at this time next year, we have to come up with a plan to reduce our deficits. And that's kind of what I expect unless something changes. So our estimated revenue, wages and benefits comprise most of our expenditures because, like I said, we're a people business. So you have 61% of our expenditures go to wages. Let's go to the next page. So costs continue to rise while wages are growing at the fastest. Costs continue to rise faster than inflation. So we're looking at, so there's things you can do. Major consolidation, we've done that a couple years ago. A new operating levy, tried that in November and that failed. I know we passed something for an income tax levy, but we'll have to see what that happens. And like I mentioned, you can only renew emergency levies one more time. And, we could look at new construction, but I think that plan has died a couple years ago. So we're not looking at new construction. So that's where we are right now. Go ahead to the next page, Melissa. So, like House Bill 96 has the full fair school funding plan, which I said they didn't update any data. There's DPIA, which is economically disadvantaged. We used to get a lot of money from that, but they changed the formula at the state level, so we're getting less money on that. It's all doom and gloom, this forecast. So it's pretty much not the best. But go to the next page, Melissa. So this will open up for the board to ask any questions. Okay, well, thank you.
I do actually have a question. Mr. Nucio, I'm not sure if this is going to be a question for you or a question for Dr. Hunt. There was a Page parent meeting a couple days ago, and it was mentioned that if the board passes the 5-year forecast, that we would indirectly approve the discontinuation of the Page program.
No, that's that would not be accurate. The 5-year forecast is a forecast of where we were. Forecast was done in January, where we see our expenditures are in the next 5 years. The PAGE program, I mean, we have 4 teachers, and I think we have 4 teachers in PAGE, and if the program's eliminated, their positions, them as an employee doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be riffed or cut. There's lots of retirements. They might go into that position. So we could not actually see what the cost, I can tell you what the cost is now, but what the savings is for the program, we would not know until we go through planning with the teacher staffing. So the forecast it has nothing to do with you. If you cut the program, if you approve the forecast, you're approving cutting PAGE. That would not be accurate.
May I, Dr. Hunt, could you clarify what you meant then when you discussed that or when you spoke about that at the meeting?
Absolutely. Here's what we shared at the meeting, that the cost of the PAGE program tied to the 4 teachers and the salaries and benefits of 4 teachers would essentially go back into the mix for staffing, which would allow us to remove 4 teachers in a reduction in force or a cut, which Mr. Nucio just kind of shared that we'll have a number once we get through the staffing process. It's not a one-to-one match on salary. I also shared the other night that the total cost of gifted services is about approximately $940,000. And so this would represent a significant cost savings in that area. Thank you.
The total cost of the PAGE program, though, is less than $370,000, or was it $380,000 without
I
it?
believe it was $376,000 something.
Thank you,
There's
sir.
4 teachers and some supplies.
Okay.
But we also have other gifted services, which we have two gifted intervention specialists, and we have a person who's in charge of gifted, Tiffany Buchanan is in charge of the program, and we have a lead gifted teacher. So those are all our gifted services, costs about $975,000 for the district.
Thank you for clarifying. And so just so that I'm clear, so by voting yes for the 5-year forecast, it is not indirectly voting to discontinue the PAGE program that was mentioned 2 days ago in the parent meeting.
Correct. Voting yes on the forecast is just voting on the forecast, what it looks like in January. It's not saying, yes, I think we should get rid of PAGE. It's completely separate things.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you, Ms. McTaggart. Thank you, Mr. Nucio. Now we are going to move to the committee meeting reports. We do have one committee that we will be receiving a report on. Ms. Kerpick's going to speak regarding the Communications and Community Relations Committee. Ms. Kerpick.
Thank you, Dr. Early. Dr. Early, myself, and Dr. Cruz met on January 27th to discuss our communications committee. A couple things that we worked on. We had a few discussions surrounding some community engagement work sessions that we want to host to share factual information surrounding our district's finances. So please look forward to more information about that coming out once we solidify dates. We also had discussions surrounding previous community engagement events, specifically town halls and state of the schools. Our next things that we will be discussing at our next committees, we will be so sorry. This is my first time presenting one of these, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to present this, how to word it, and I'm not very good at just kind of reading and going through that. Our next action steps, Dr. Cruz is arranging for someone to take minutes at our future meetings. We were working on finding out a date for State of the Schools. We are going to have OSBA at our board retreat to talk about the roles of board members in levy campaigns. And we are going to establish an agenda for the community work sessions that we'll be hosting. Our next committee meeting will be March 23rd at 12:30 at Arlington.
Thank you, Ms. Kerpick. At this time, we're going to do communications. Do any board members have communications that they would like to share with the group?
I do.
Ms. Sebastian.
Thank you. So this week, the board members had an opportunity to tour all of our middle schools and our high schools. I'm not on? I'm not on. Thank you. This week, we had the opportunity to tour all of our middle schools and our high schools with plans to visit our elementary buildings in the coming weeks. Being back inside our schools was meaningful for me in so many ways. For me personally, it was a full circle moment. Both of my children attended Parma City schools. I had a chance to reconnect with staff who played a very important role in their educational journeys. Seeing educators who have played an important role in their educational journeys and their dedication just spoke volumes about the commitment, the stability, and the heart that exists within our school community and for all students. Beyond the nostalgia, what stood out most was the incredible work happening every day inside of our classrooms, from engaged students to passionate educators and supportive staff. It was a powerful reminder of the energy, the innovation, and the care that drives our district forward. I was especially taken back by the wide range of opportunities available to students as they prepare to step into the world beyond graduation. Seeing the many pathways, programs, and it really truly highlights how we are helping students discover their strengths and build their futures. I left feeling very emotional, not only because of the memories, but because the experiences brought me back to the purpose and the responsibility that I hold as a board member that called me to serve and champion public education. Seeing the pulse of our schools firsthand reinforces why this work matters and strengthens my commitment to supporting our students, staff, and community. I look forward to continuing these visits, and I want to thank all of the building principals and teachers and students that allowed us and welcomed us in there with open arms into their classrooms. Also, I had a chance to attend PTA Scholarship Night. I just wanted to make everybody aware. PTA Scholarship Workshop Night. The board does provide scholarships in total of $3,000 to students in Parma City schools. So it was great to go and get a refresher on how to grade or how to score those scholarships. So I think that's all I have for communications. Thank you for the long staying with me in the long-winded communications. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sebastian. Do any other board members have communication?
Dr. Early,
Yes, Mr. Reyes.
thank you so much. I want to take a second to thank Mr. Nucio for sending me the information I requested at the last meeting, the legal contact for all the attorneys. Thank you for sending that to every board member, and also the cost with page. Thank you for sending that to all of us. And then, so I'm not usually on my phone during these meetings, but my wife texts me because she likes to watch me during these meetings, and she said that this meeting isn't being live streamed. So I'm not sure who made that decision, but I strongly disagree with that. Thank you.
Is that an option to not live stream it?
Mr. Reyes, thank you. We cannot take live questions through the audience. It would only be during public comment. We will have, after we do communications to the board, we are going to discuss briefly the live streaming decision. Ms. McTaggart?
Yes, ma'am. So there are a couple things that I wanted to share. One, in the past, I have worn my military uniform to a board meeting and traveling directly from the base. And I just want to ensure that everyone knows and understands that I am not endorsed by the Department of War, nor am I endorsed or my opinions by the United States Air Force. This is something that I have to state because there was a concerned resident from Parma Heights that had called, and so I was asked to make a statement, and so there's my statement. But also, I did give a copy of formal official mobilization orders to the treasurer, Mr. Nucio, and needed to collect those, and in turn gave a letter on official letterhead. Some of the board members, or one of the board members, had requested a copy of the official orders, in which I am unable to share those. So the letter hopefully will suffice. Also, with my military service, I wanted to share something else. The board tours that were scheduled, I would have really liked to been a part of those board tours. There was no discussion of dates. I just received a calendar invite on a date that everyone was well aware I was on active duty military orders, in which then I could not attend. So that was very disappointing, being a military member and on official active duty orders. That is a protected class. And so I would hope that in the future, moving forward, Dr. Hunt, this is for you, Dr. Hunt, that please let's discuss dates that we are available. A lot of us have jobs and we work during the day. It's really important that we're collaborative. It would be very challenging and difficult for any one of us to just show up at a specific date and time, especially during the duty day that Dr. Hunt had given without discussion. So hopefully, I hope that changes moving forward. Also, the live streaming. Dr. Early, you said that we were going to discuss who made the decision.
Dr. Early, point of order, we haven't talked about the live stream. So I would ask if we just stay on topic with communications.
Actually, this is part of my communications because I was found out 5 minutes prior. No, this
After communications, we are going to discuss it. There will be a time we are going to have a chance to each speak on that too.
Thank you, ma'am. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. So I just want to make aware that according to ORC 121.22, a public body can only take official action by vote in an open meeting. Official action includes decisions that affect public access, transparency, or operation of the meeting, not just resolutions. And therefore, a decision was made without a board discussion, without a vote of the board. And so hopefully we can, again, collaborate, discuss before we deliberate without the entirety of the board. Another thing I wanted to mention, so everyone is aware that Parma City School District has a Facebook page. And so that Facebook page is considered a government public forum. And so I just wanted to read that when a school district runs an official social media page and posts announcements, allows comments, interacts with the public, it becomes a designated public forum under the First Amendment. They are then treated like they're operating a public microphone at a board meeting. They cannot silence speech they do not like. Therefore, they cannot block individuals, whether or not they're within the district or out of the district. And so, whoever is operating the Facebook page, I hope that there's no blocking of any individual, regardless of comments, unless, of course, it becomes threat of some sort. Also, I wanted, so the 72-hour rule that I came about when parents or any members of the community send an email to administration, they're to respond within 72 hours, correct? That's right? Dr. Early? Oh, that's what was you had discussed very thoroughly at the last board meeting when Dr. Hunt hadn't met that 72-hour rule.
I'm so sorry, I misunderstood. Are you talking about public comment? That's what that was discussion was about. During public comment, that there has to be a follow-up within 72 hours. That's
Or
what that,
emails, correct?
no, I was referring to the public comment
Okay.
policy.
Some of the emails were responded to, and you had made a statement in one of the emails that Dr. Hunt hadn't responded within 72 hours, and you apologized, and so,
That was regarding public comment.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
thank
something
you.
that happened at the board meeting.
Thank you for clarifying. So I would like to discuss then what that looks like for the board members when the board sends an email to administration.
Yeah, I think that's something we can add to our agenda for Tuesday when we're all together. I think that would be a great conversation point so that we're all on the same page with those expectations.
Will that be live streamed?
No, it will not.
Okay.
It is open to the public and it'll be noticed as such.
I would like to have the conversation during live streaming so that we're all on the same page as well as community members. I think that 72 hours is appropriate and fair. So if the board sends an email to administration, it's also outlined in the superintendent's contract that he treats
Ms. McTaggart, I have to stop you. We cannot discuss personnel matters, including the superintendent's contract, in the public forum. We only can discuss that during executive session.
Okay, thank you for correcting me. So I do believe that a 72-hour rule that the board adopts would be fair for all board members, 72 hours, within 72 hours.
Are you yielding the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Early, can I have the floor back for a second just to respond?
So in accordance with policy, we each have to have a turn to speak and
Okay.
then we can open it back up.
So
for someone.
I'll wait until you,
Yes.
okay,
yes,
thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kirkbride, do you have any updates, information to the board?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have something I would like to share. Over the past week, I had the opportunity to tour our middle and high school buildings, and I want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible dedication of our staff, from teachers to administrators to classified staff and specialists. These individuals work tirelessly each day to support our students, often behind the scenes. Their passion for learning and commitment to student growth was evident in every classroom and program I had the opportunity to observe. Having previously served as both a teacher and an administrator, and having worked in the district, I understand firsthand the long hours, the complexity of the work, and the deep level of care required to serve students well. That perspective makes it even more meaningful to see the continued commitment and professionalism present in our schools. I'd like to thank Dr. Hunt and Ms. Franke for organizing these tours. I appreciated the opportunity to walk through the schools alongside Dr. Hunt, Dr. Cruz, and a few of the board members. Seeing students engaged, confident, and able to speak thoughtfully about their learning was a powerful reminder of why this work truly matters with what we do. I recognize that there are challenges and concerns within our district, and I want to assure the community that those matters are taken seriously. Public education carries significant responsibility and high expectations. Our commitment remains focused on upholding professional standards, ensuring accountability, and maintaining a safe and supportive environment for staff and students. At the same time, it is important to recognize the many dedicated individuals who consistently demonstrate integrity, care, and professionalism in their work in our district. Our students benefit from that commitment every day, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So I did want to take a minute to thank the staff across our buildings. And I didn't get to see the elementaries yet. I'm excited for that, but it truly is incredible to be around the kids. It's the best part of our job. So thank you. Ms. Sebastian, I know before we move on from communications, you said you had one other thing you wanted to add.
Thank you, Dr. Early. I'll make it quick. When Ms. McTaggart was speaking about a board member that requested those orders, that was myself. And I truly did not think that would be an issue since you presented those at a public meeting. And really, it was and I want this to be clear, it was less about your orders and more about your commitment to the board and how you planned on doing that during deployment. I also would like responses to my emails. I sent you 3 emails requesting that information, and I have not received it. So I would love to, if I could please finish, I would love to discuss that at a retreat if you would be willing to do that. I think you owe it not only to your fellow board members, but the community. Thank you.
I just want to, I did respond. And also, it's okay that you requested a copy of my orders. I'm not saying that that's wrong. But when I said that I could not provide you a copy of the orders, you pushed. And I tried to explain that why I could not give you a copy of the orders. And so there's no emotion there. I'm not upset, disappointed. You have the right to your questions. I answered your questions fully, and I did respond to your emails. You may not like the answer that I gave, but I responded to your emails. And so that's all.
Thank you.
Dr. Early, man.
Dr. Hunt?
Building tours. First, I appreciate our staff, Mrs. Frankie, and those who took the time to coordinate these. In an email on February 3rd, I sent to the board after a request to collaborate on times. I said, if you have a specific time that you are available to tour, let me know, and I will coordinate around your schedule.
Dr. Hunt, that was after I raised concern when you scheduled the tour without asking for dates. So I had already raised the concern, and you were responding to my email. You sent a date.
From you for the tour, so you let me know when.
A private tour, and I did let everyone know that I would be able to get back to them after I served those active duty days. Dr. Hunt, it doesn't take away from you scheduled the tour specifically when you knew that I was on active duty orders. Again, being a member of the military and the armed forces and on official active duty orders, I'm a protected class. And so you did not discuss or collaborate on dates or times. What you did was you sent a calendar invite on a specific date and time that you knew I could not be present because I had already told you I would be on active duty orders. At that time, when I received the calendar invite, that is what prompted me to send you an email and then restate. You knew that I was on active duty orders at that date and time. There was no collaboration of dates. And then you responded and asked for a date and time from me. So the date was already
Shared your active duty orders.
It was not. And I can prove that actually. I'll get back to you.
We're not going to do it at this time. We're going to move forward with the
Maybe not
agenda.
at this time, but I'll get back to you.
That's fine. Outside of the meeting, please. Thank
Not
you.
outside of the meeting. I can do that here. I am able to respond to that.
We're not going to do it right now during the meeting.
Dr.
Ms.
Early,
McTaggart.
you facilitate a meeting, you don't make the rules. And under Robert's
Can we
rules.
please keep the discussion policy focused
Yes,
and focused on?
please don't speak over me,
We're gonna
Mrs.
do it- we're
Sebastian.
gonna do a
Point of order. Point of
Yes,
order.
but As of Robert's
I'm not
rules,
speaking
I am
over
going
you.
to
I'm
respond
asking
to
for
that.
point of
Okay,
order.
Thank you. And Mrs. Sebastian, please refrain from speaking over me. I appreciate it.
I am aligning with policy, point of order.
And
Robert's rules.
says that I can reply.
You're not
and I
following
will do
policy,
that.
so that's great. Thank you.
I'm following policy.
We are going to move forward at this time. At this point in the meeting, we typically have our first public comment section with items on tonight's agenda. We do have public comments for tonight's meeting. They are not in regards to the agenda item, so we will do that at the second part of the meeting. Mr. Nucio, do we have any amendments or walk-on items?
I'm not aware of any.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so I make a motion. Wait, okay, sorry, catching my thoughts. I move to adopt. Oh, no, give me a second, everyone. I'm so sorry. I've lost my spot in my notes. Right here, right?
Public comments and then adoption of amendments.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-51, adoption of amendments.
Second.
We don't have.
So we just
We
move.
don't have anyone, so you just
Okay,
move to the
I'm so
next
sorry.
one.
I'm flustered, everybody. All right, before we move to the resolutions, records of proceedings, et cetera, we are going to take a minute to discuss the live streaming. I want to provide a brief update on how board meetings will be shared with the public. The Board of Education will be transitioning from live streaming to audio recordings of the board meetings. Recordings will be posted on the district website the following day and will include the full content of each meeting, including all discussion and action taken. Meeting minutes will continue to serve as an official record. Many school districts successfully post recordings after meeting and do not utilize live streaming while continuing to maintain transparency. At this time, I'll open the floor for brief comments so each board member has the opportunity to share their thoughts. This is not a debate. It will not be a back and forth discussion. We will do a round robin format with each member having the opportunity to speak for 2 minutes or less. At that 2-minute mark, I will intercede and we will move forward. I will begin and then we will go in the following order: Mr. Reyes, Ms. Perpick, Ms. McTaggart, and Ms. Sebastian. So my statement, and I'm going to start a timer for myself as well. Many school districts do not live stream board meetings and instead post recordings after the meeting. This is a well-established and legally sound approach to providing public access that was approved by legal counsel. In Cuyahoga County alone, there are many public school districts who do not live stream meetings and instead post recordings, such as North Royalton. I have spent extensive time researching how other boards of education operate, particularly first-ring districts, as part of my ongoing effort to improve my effectiveness as a facilitator and to increase efficiency of our meetings. This change aligns with those practices. Additionally, I believe it's important to mention equitable access. Videos often require higher speed internet and devices than not everyone in our districts may have. Audio files are smaller and may be easier to access, making it possible for more families and community members to stay informed regardless of their technology access. I yield the floor, and next will be Mr. Reyes. Mr. Reyes, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Early. So I don't have a speech prepared. This was a big surprise. Obviously, the board didn't have any kind of say in this decision. I would like to remind everyone that no single member has more authority than the other. We operate as a group, and I hope that we can have further discussion on this before we actually implement this, because this does not look good. And I strongly disagree with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. At this time, we'll go to Ms. Kerpick.
Thank you, Dr. Early. I have no issues with this change. Change in our procedure doesn't restrict access for anybody. I don't believe there's anything that people gain from viewing our videos that they will not gain from listening to our videos. As long as all presentations that are shared and any documents that we project will also be available, I would assume on board docs, hopefully. As long as that happens, I'm okay with this. I'm more than happy to try something new, and hopefully this provides more access to more people. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McTaggart?
Yes, so Mr. Reyes, I appreciate you saying that we operate as a board. However, it sounds as though Dr. Early has made the decision herself, and now we're being timed also on our responses. And so that is in direct violation of ORC 121.22. Dr. Early, are you familiar with that ORC?
Yes.
And so you made the decision to no longer live stream?
This was my recommendation, which I shared with administration, and we agreed that it was the appropriate approach moving forward.
The recommendation doesn't go to administration. The recommendation goes to the rest of the board, and then we vote on it. So where is the collaboration? Do you know that you're in violation of ORC 122.22?
So as previously stated, we're not going to debate at this time. I'm happy. So I'm going to give you a chance to listen, to speak your piece during our time, and then we're going to move forward.
Dr. Early, you are in direct violation of ORC. You're also in violation of our policy. You do not make decisions. You cannot facilitate whichever meetings, you pick and choose which meetings you want to facilitate, and then you're here as a dictator. That's what you're coming across. You have made decisions. You're point of order. No. So I apologize. You don't like what I have to say, Mrs. Sebastian. However,
No,
we have a chance to speak.
I want decorum
Without
is what I
emotion,
am
please.
doing.
Without
No,
emotion.
This is not emotional.
You are very
This is not emotional. I'm emotional about this district. You're right. No, I'm telling you.
So am I.
This is for decorum. This
Ms.
is point of
Sebastian, let her
order
have
is
her
for
piece.
decorum.
Let her have her
Okay,
piece.
and that's fine. However, again, Dr. Early, you do not have the right to make that decision. You made that decision and you decided not to live stream, in which the communication went out before the other board members 5 minutes prior to the start of this meeting. That is not okay, and you're breaking the law.
Thank you, Ms. McTaggart. Ms. Sebastian?
Thank you. So, and I'm not going to let you just sit here and take the heat, because you are a facilitator of these meetings. There is not a policy that states that our board meetings have to be live streamed.
I didn't say that there was.
I'm just, you didn't want me to speak over you. Thank you. I deserve
You're
the
right.
same.
You're right. I apologize.
Board meetings should prioritize thoughtful discussion. It should be student-centered, and they should not be performative spaces influenced by online reactions. Same for everybody, even if it's in support of me. We need decorum. When discussion shifts towards appearances or personal characteristics, people's clothing, people's appearance, we need to balance our transparency with our responsibility to prevent harm or targeting of staff, students, and community members. I believe that this will allow that balance of transparency and create a more respectful environment where we can all focus on student-centered decision-making. Thank you.
Respect. You have to follow ORC. It's not about respect.
We are going to move forward to the records of proceedings. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-52, approval of the written record of proceedings from the January 20th, 2026 Special Board of Education meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-52. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-02-52 has been approved. All right, we will move to business. The resolutions under the business portion. Ms. McTaggart.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-53, authorizing to dispense with competitive bidding requirements and award a contract under Cooperative Purchasing Program to install a chiller at Normandy High School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-53. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes, Resolution 2026-02-53 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-54, authorizing awarding a contract under a cooperative purchasing program to install Valley Forge High School long jump runway and pit.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-54. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes, Resolution 2026-02-54 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-55, authorizing awarding a contract under a cooperative purchasing program to install an athletic field concrete walkway at Shiloh Middle School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-55. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes, Resolution 2026-02-55 has been approved.
Unless there is anything else to discuss, this concludes business.
Thank you, Ms. McTaggart. All right, Mrs. Sebastian with curriculum resolutions.
Thank you, Dr. Early. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-56, approval of overnight out-of-state field trip for Greenbrier's eighth grade trip to Washington, D.C. on May 20th through 22nd, 2026.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-56. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes, Resolution 2022-02-56 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-57, approval of overnight field trip to Columbus, Ohio on March 9th through the 11th, 2026 for the culinary arts.
Second? Oh,
Yep.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay.
A second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-57. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes, Resolution 2022-02-57 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-58, approval of overnight field trip to Springfield, Ohio on February 27th through March 1st, 2026 for the Normandy hockey tournament.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-58. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes, Resolution 2026-02-58 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-59, approval of overnight field trip to Canton, Ohio on February 25th and February 24th and 25th, 2026 for the Normandy swim team.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-59. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes, Resolution 2026-02-59 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-02-60, approval of overnight field trip to Canton, Ohio on February 24th and 25th, 2026 for Valley Forge's swim team.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-02-60. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes, Resolution 2026-02-60 has been approved.
Unless any other board member has anything to discuss, this concludes curriculum.
Dr. Early?
Yes, Mr. Reyes.
Thank you. I do have one thing I want to bring up. I move that the Board of Education direct the superintendent to continue the PAGE program in the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
Dr. Early, I'm not sure we can we can put this on because the agenda has already been approved.
He can make a motion at any time. So what you guys discussed in the agenda meeting, Dr. Hunt, you're inaccurate. So you can make a motion at any time as long as there's not another motion on the floor.
So
The
according
conversation that I'm-
to Robert's Rules of Order, the motion is not in order at this time. Any board member who
It's under
wishes to
curriculum.
introduce a resolution that was not included on the approved agenda must do so during the designated amendment or walk-on portion of the meeting, which we have already done.
This is not a resolution, it's only a motion that's brought forward during curriculum.
There
That
is a
is legal under
difference.
Robert rules.
For what? A motion for what? You,
Direct the superintendent to continue the PAGE program in 2026, 2027.
that's motion's out of order.
That's not out of order.
It's curriculum.
I have
But this
Robert's
is
rules
not,
of
you
order right here.
cannot,
I'd like to
you
take a look
have
at
to.
it.
You can, a motion is different than a
cannot.
resolution.
We will
So I
not be
think you should look
motioning
into that.
at this time.
Dr. Early, may I have the floor?
Yes.
There was a motion and a second, you have to call the question.
Dr. Early, may I have the floor,
Yes, Ms.
please?
Sebastian.
We have already concluded curriculum. I had asked, unless any other board member has anything to discuss, this concludes curriculum. That motion came after that.
There's a motion and a second. He can still make the motion at any time. You should,
So the very person who keeps asking me to not talk over them continues to do so with me. Can I finish?
I apologize. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I said, unless another board member has anything to discuss, this concludes curriculum. We are now away from curriculum.
Dr. Early?
Can we go back, point of order, go back to the order of business? We
Dr.
cannot
Early?
go backwards.
Yes, Mr. Reyes.
If I may, thank you. So Dr. Early, I did ask for the floor. You gave it to me. Thank you. I made the motion. The motion was second. Please call the question.
That motion is not in order at this time.
That
There's
motion
no
is
It
in
is,
order.
you are wrong.
Yeah. So I'm not going to call a motion.
So you're
that's
breaking
not-
the law, and now you're wrong. You need to brush up on Robert's Rules of Order. Know that you're a facilitator, not a decision maker alone, and do what's right by the Board of Education and by the people that elected you into that seat, because you're losing them.
Thank you, Ms. McTaggart. We're going to move on to finance. Mr. Reyes.
I made a motion. It was seconded. You need to call the question.
I will not.
Unless you have a secondary motion to take that motion off the floor, you cannot move past this point in the meeting.
She can do whatever she wants, apparently.
Mr.
And so can
Nucio?
Dr. Hunt. He removed a program, the entire page program that we should have voted on.
I make a motion to move into a recess.
Supposed to do.
I make a motion to move into recess.
Second.
I made a motion to move into recess.
Mr. Nucio, can you roll call if we're going to go into recess, please?
I'm sorry, who seconded the motion?
I did.
Mrs. Sebastian?
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick?
Yes.
Ms. McTaggart?
No.
Mr. Reyes?
So you cannot make that motion when there's a question pending.
When
on
there's
the
a
floor.
motion pending, you cannot make another motion.
There's
So
not
I
a
will,
It's a question,
will-
yes or no?
I can also.
They can do
leave
whatever they
comment.
want.
I will abstain from making a vote on this. Thank you very much.
Dr. Early?
Yes, we will recess and we will reconvene at 7:12 PM. We will resume the meeting. I move to amend the agenda to go into executive session to discuss Robert's Rules of Order.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to move into executive session to discuss Robert's Rules of Order. May I have a roll call, please, Mr. Nucio?
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick.
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
We will move into executive session at 7:14. We are re-adjourning our meeting at 8:25 p.m. I motion to amend the agenda to remove executive session at the end of our meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
The motion to amend to remove executive session at the end of the meeting has been approved.
Dr. Early?
And I think we have to vote on that after we amended the resolution. Now we have to vote to get rid of it. Am I correct?
Yes, thank you. We've motioned to amend the agenda. Now we must vote to, if we are in agreement, to remove executive session from the end of the agenda. A motion.
Second.
Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
We will remove executive session from the end of tonight's agenda.
Dr. Early?
Mr. Reyes.
Thank you. I move to amend the agenda to move up public comment immediately with the discussion for the PACE program to follow right after.
And all the other resolutions to come after
And then
that.
all the other resolutions to come after. Thank you, Mr. Nucio.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to amend the agenda. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
So,
Now I think you would have to make a motion. We have to vote on his motion.
I motion that we move up public comment directly following a discussion of the board.
Followed by all the
Follow
rest.
the other resolutions.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
yes.
So,
All right, we will move forward with public comment at this time. The Parma City School District Board of Education is a decision-making body. We value community input and appreciate those who have taken the time to participate this evening. We will now move to the agenda item, public comments. Public participation is welcome, and any concern dealing with the education in the Parma City School District may be addressed at this time. Public comment is intended to allow the board to listen. The board will not engage in dialogue or debate during this portion of the meeting. When recognized, speakers will state their name and address for the record and direct all remarks to the board president. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes with a maximum of 30 minutes total for public participation. A timer will be used to ensure fairness, order, and consistency. I will indicate when your time is concluded and will provide a visual signal when 15 seconds remain if needed. Once the 3 minutes has ended, the speaker must stop. This limit will be enforced uniformly and without exception in accordance with Board Policy 0169.1. Requests to be heard were required to be submitted in advance by completing a request to be heard form and submitting it in person to the administrative secretary. Only those who have completed this process will be permitted to speak. Individuals may not register others to speak for them during public comment. Administration may attempt to answer questions at the conclusion of a speaker's comments. However, in many cases, additional information may be needed to fully address a concern. Questions may be referred to the superintendent or treasurer for further investigation or study. If information is not readily available, a district administrator or appropriate designee may follow up within 72 hours as outlined in our board policy 0169.1. In some instances, a response may also be provided at a future regular meeting. To ensure a respectful and productive environment, comments must be directed to the board president. Speakers are asked to refrain from defamatory, obscene, abusive, derogatory, irrelevant, repetitive, or disruptive remarks, including verbal criticism or complaints against an individual employee of the school district. Personnel matters and certain student-related issues are governed by board policy and law and cannot be addressed in the public forum. The presiding officer may terminate a speaker's privilege of address if, after being called to order, the speaker persists to improper conduct or remarks. Individuals who do not adhere to these expectations may be asked to stop speaking and, if necessary, to leave the meeting. If a speaker is unable to complete their comments within the allotted time, additional information may be shared with all board members via email. At this time, we will proceed with public comment. When called, please come to the microphone. All right, we will start with Jennifer Sapik.
Good evening to the board. My name is Jennifer Sapik. My home address is 6469 Kearneywood Road. And I am one of the very many concerned Page parents that are here today. We have gotten word that our Page program is going to be canceled as of next year. I have a current sixth grader in the Page program. It is very clear and very disheartening that there are many problems in this school district. The Page program has 4 teachers currently teaching. We currently have 7 teachers on administrative leave that are getting paid. The accusations against these teachers are very, very serious. This school board, this district has many problems, and it's very, very clear what the problems are. So instead of keeping a program around for children that are gifted, we're going to terminate this program. We're terminating it based on financial issues and based on the amount of kids that are in the classes. My question is, has anybody on this board or anybody that has the ability to vote, has any of them actually been to Parma Park for the day in these classes witnessing what is going on? Was that done? And was that a factor in why it was closing? We had a discussion with Dr. Hunt at our meeting, and I mentioned that these teachers were not going to be fired, they were going to be absorbed, and it was basically going to be a pivot. Not only that, the building that the Page is housed in is still going to be up and running even when our program is gone. We don't get busing for our children, and any activities that our children are involved in, we, as the parents, are taking care of that. That is on us. We do that. This is a family. These kids are exceptional. They deserve every right, and it is not only our job, but it is our duty as this district to make sure that those kids are taken care of. Anything less than what they're getting now is absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. This district needs life breathed into it. And Tiffany Buchanan and her program did exactly that. And she brought this program into fruition when we did not have a levy to pass. So I'm asking what the issue is now. Are the test scores not good enough? Do they not compare to STEM or traditional? What is the deciding factor? Really, the deciding factor? Have you really looked at all the evidence into canceling this program?
Thank you so much. Mr. Nucio. Dr. Hunter, Mr. Nucio, is there anything you want to address at this time? Thank you. Next, we will have Ms. Faring. Samantha Faring.
My name is Samantha Fearing. I live at 7234 Maplewood Road, Parma, Ohio. Page is my home. Page is where I am accepted, and Page is where I thrive. Ms. Buchanan has made something beautiful for our minds, a program that sparks critical thinking, imagination, positivity, and creativity. School before Page was just school, nothing special or really worth talking about. But then Page came along and changed all of that. Learning is fun again. It has challenged me and helped my mind grow in ways that traditional schooling could only hope to achieve. My brain needs nourishment, and Page provides that. My teachers, from Miss Adams to Miss Steinmetz to my current teacher, Miss Morales, and Miss B, have been my mentors. People I look up to, people I aspire to be like one day. They understand my mind, the way my brain works, the challenges I enjoy, and those I need help with. Without such great people, the Page program would not be the same fun, safe, and welcoming place it is today. If you cancel Page, you won't just be hurting the current students or taking opportunities away from the future gifted kids. You'll be squandering the talents of Page's amazing staff. I hope you will please reconsider your decision to cut Page. It's too good to lose. If you feed it, nurture it, and cherish it, Page will grow into a strong program that will be the beacon of hope that our school system direly needs. I'm also requesting a special meeting with the board and Page parents. Thank you for listening and allowing me to talk tonight.
Thank you. Jill Felber.
Hello, I'm Jill Felber. My address is 6710 Orchard Boulevard in Parma Heights. I'd like to comment on Page and then a few questions about the budget forecast. I just want to say that I love Page. It's been part of my daughter's academic since the 24-25 school year. She's accelerated in ELA. However, I can tell you she increased her math understanding immediately when starting at Page, when she had some confusion coming out of second grade STEM. The environment in these classrooms are just different in terms of maturity level and how the kids are treated too. It makes a huge difference that I can see from other classes in the district. At first we were going to try Page for a year, and after the first day we both knew it was a home and that we would stay and hoped it would extend to 8th like STEM. If you ask any of my friends, I've been 100% advocate of Page since my daughter's been there, posting online in different groups and through my old PTA, so 100% loved it and always supported it. My questions regarding the 5-year forecast and just Page in general. As a part of curriculum development, is Page not considered an innovative program that the board should be promoting to have in our schools for continued school improvement? After looking at the forecast too, these are just ideas and general questions. Due to the large increase in insurance under expenditures, that has decreased considerably. It looked like it went up like $5.5 million from 25 to 26. I just didn't know what was any measures considered, such as like increasing insurance deductibles or premiums. I also was wanting to know what the correlation between the increase of expenditures versus the decline of students year over year for the last 10 years. And I would also, my last comment, I would like to request a social meeting with the board to discuss gifted services. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nucio, Dr. Hunt, I know she did ask some specific questions. Is there anything you'd like to address at this time or follow up within the 72-hour?
Yes, she asked about, can I just increase deductibles or anything with the insurance? Those are all collective bargaining. I can't unilaterally do that myself. I would have to agree with the union to change things. So it's not as simple as just me calling the insurance company, well, we are the insurance company, but telling Medical Mutual to increase the deductibles or co-pays for employees. I can't do that. And she was asking about declining enrollment, increase in expenditures. We do have declining enrollment. We've had declining enrollment for probably 50 years. And the expenditures do increase. Salaries and benefits are our two largest, and they will continue to increase as people get raises and insurance costs go up every year. And I mentioned the 5-year forecast that we're not getting additional funds for any new kids that enroll over what we have now. We're on the guarantee for funding. I think that's probably all the questions she asked.
Thank you, Mr. Nucio. Dr. Hunt, do you have anything? Okay. And just I want to be aware, we do have the 30-minute time on the public comment. However, whenever Mr. Nucio or Dr. Hunt are speaking, we are pausing that timer. So it wouldn't be fair, I think, to take from that time when that's happening. Ms. Kerpick's keeping time for us as well, so that's what's happening up here. Next, we'll have Jenna Felber.
Hello, my name is Jenna Felber. I live at 6710 Orchard Boulevard, Parma Heights. I just want everyone to know that I left STEM to go to Page, and Page is just different because we learn different languages, do contests, and really fun projects. And just since Page is a really amazing program, I really hope we can save it.
Thank you. Next, we have Marcus Mitchell.
Name's Marcus Mitchell, live 5004 Torrington Ave here in Parma. This process has been exhausting. It's emotionally draining, mentally draining. We're spending our time coming to these meetings, trying to get questions answered. And so far, that has been like pulling teeth.
Amen.
And I'm not here to disparage the board or the district. I know the situation we're in is not great. We're asking for money, but the public's asking for more transparency. You guys want trust? It has to be earned. And that's something I think we teach our kids. Trust is earned, and trust can be lost. And that is the hardest thing to get back. You're asking us to accept losing something that means a lot to our kids. You know, and you hear all these comments lately, oh, these kids today are too soft. They have it too easy. Good. That's the whole point. We can't get mad that people are able to walk on an easier road that we paved for them. And Page gives them that. These kids don't learn the same way STEM students do. They don't learn in a traditional classroom. And as parents, that's hard. We know that. We know that our kid is not going to sit down and read a book. He's going to move around, but he's going to finish that book. And Page gives them that. And when we're sitting here listening to the answers and being expected to hear that, our kids are gifted for a reason. You're talking about a room full of people here fighting for a program in a district where we cannot get parents to show up. This is how you get parents to show up. You want to give them something, give them hope. That's what I'm asking you to do. Give these kids a reason to hope in this school district. Give the voters a reason to hope. You want to ask them for money, give them something to hold on to. Show them you listen. You guys are elected officials. You serve to listen to the public. You work for us. I just want to hit that home. Like, you're voting on the future, and it shouldn't be about your future seat at the table. It should be about the future of our children. That's a sacrifice anybody should be willing to make. What you do today should matter more than being able to do it in 2 years. And that's a really hard lesson. This is a civics lesson for all these kids. For a lot of us adults, it's the first time we've gotten involved on this level. But we're still showing up, and we're going to keep showing up because we care. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Next, we have Bridget Sophie Cassay.
Sophie and Bridget Cassay, 2118 Russell Avenue, Parma. No, I did it for you. Come on. Deep breath. Just like in school.
It's okay.
Come on, Sophie.
You got it.
You got this, Sophie.
At my old school, there used to be people that threw things in my classroom, and I used to be one of the people that helped them. But now at Page, that doesn't happen anymore. And at my old school, I had to leave all my friends to come to Page. But now I made amazing friends that I don't want to leave and have to make brand new friends at the next school that I go to because it's kind of hard for me to make friends. And also at Page, learning is actually fun, but at other schools it's boring and it's harder for me to pay attention. And that is only some of the reasons.
Mm-hmm. Sophie's got a sister with Down syndrome, and we knew when we had her we would have to fight for her education. Never did I think I would have to fight for Sophie's education, to fight for a gifted program, to fight for more at a school, for someone who is more intelligent than her sister. And yet that's what we're having to do, to fight for somebody who wants an education. We all have neighbors, and we hear about the classes at the high school level to help them manage graduating. That 4 classes, I believe, the handful of kids that show up every day, the handful of kids that want to come, and the handful of kids that come so they don't get beat by their families, so that they can graduate and maybe stay in their house a little bit longer. Why can't we cut some of those classes out, put it down to 1, maybe 2, get rid of a couple of those adults that are being paid, and send some of that money towards Page to save a little bit of money. Keep the kids that want to be educated in their classes. Just an idea for cost saving. Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas Bayer.
My name is Thomas Bayer, and I live on 3313 Torrington Avenue. And Page is my home. The reason I get up in the morning is to go to school. At my old school, everything was too easy, but now I can learn more and get challenged. School isn't boring anymore, and I'm happy for that. And there are more people that understand me. And I don't want that taken away. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Mike Cristino.
No.
Hello, Mike Cristino, 5914 Snow Road, Parma. I grew up going to Parma City Schools my whole life. Went to Thorough Park, went to Shiloh and Parma. Parma no longer exists because the people here in Parma, they don't want to pass a levy for some reason. The superintendent left. We have Dr. Hunt now. You have a big task in front of you, Dr. Hunt. I'm sure you know that. All of us are here today, not for a board meeting. Who here is here for Page? Who's here for the board meeting for anything else? Okay. So clearly, these people behind me that raise their hand for Paige, they want their kids to go to school. They want a higher education. And without that, they're going to sit in school, bored, because they're very smart. My daughter goes to Paige. Last year, she got in trouble quite a bit because she finished her work. She goofed off because she was bored. I'm sorry, she was not at Paige last year. So she got in trouble. She's at Paige now. Not one time she got in trouble for her behavior. She's going to go back to Thorpe Park next year. She'll probably get in trouble because she's over smart. She's going to get bored, just like every other student here probably. I went on the Parma City School District website and pulled the school board members, and I got this. Ashley, first off, thank you for your service. No one else told you that tonight, but thank you. And you missing a meeting should have been told. That's kind of BS in my mind. On your page, you put your aspiration.
I'm so sorry. I have to interrupt. We cannot personally address board members.
Oh, I'm not looking for feedback. I'm not looking for you guys to talk back. I'm just writing so everybody knows that Ashley recognizes that every child's education matters.
But I'm so sorry. We can't address the individuals on the board personally.
So you don't want to talk about how you have a superintendent's license.
No.
No, you do.
But I do, but it's nothing we need to discuss. I paused this because I didn't want to take from your time.
Okay. Well, my time is still running, by the way.
We can go back to that. I paused it on the master, but we can't discuss the individuals on the board.
Okay.
So I'm just going to request that we don't do that.
Well, you don't want like a talk back. You want us to talk to you guys.
We would like to hear your comments.
You want all of us to talk to you without on Facebook Live to discuss this. I contacted all you guys are in the meeting for 45 minutes. Channel 3 News, Channel 5 News, Channel 19 again, and Fox 8, and all the 4 news stations. All of them are interested in this news story to save a program for kids that want to go to school and they want to learn. I was not like that. I hated school. But these kids, they're smarter than I am. They're smarter than half the people in the room. They could probably be up there and do a better job than half of you up there. We have Nick, we have Ashley. They're the only ones fighting for us.
Mr. Christina,
everybody else?
We've hit the 3-minute mark.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Maddie Abelo. I apologize if I'm Abelo. Am I saying that?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry about that.
My name is Madeline Abelo. I live at 2745 Bonnie Boulevard, Parma, Ohio. Today, I will be speaking on why we should not be getting rid of the PAGE program. It's an amazing environment for kids to learn and not be bored in regular classrooms. Firstly, there are kids in 2nd grade right now who really want to get into the PAGE program who won't get in because it is being shut down. I remember how happy I was to be accepted into PAGE, and to have that joy taken away would be a shame. I would also like to note that I myself had 1 more year here at PAGE, and the grades below me had years of PAGE left too. PAGE is an amazing program with critical thinking activities, fun projects, and hands-on activities that many more students should get to experience, and I'm kind of wondering why you would want to ever take that away. Secondly, there are some students in this school that have not seen the full potential of PAGE. For example, the drone programs that us 5th graders are doing. The 3rd and 4th graders won't get to try out these drones, which are super awesome, because PAGE is being shut down. So I hope that I have convinced you or even changed your mind to keep this amazing program open for longer. If so, most students and adults here would be happy and relieved. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. No, we cannot.
I know. You said I was going to get time back? No.
I did. We did pause it and add the time back through. Next, we have Tessa Bayer.
My name's Tessa Bayer. I live at 3313 Torrington Avenue in Parma, and I am an alumnus of Parma Senior High School, class of 2010. When I was in my 11th grade AP US History class, my teacher brought in the assistant principal who told us that Parma High would be closing and the students would be transferred to either Valley Forge or Normandy high schools. I don't want to say his name. My teacher then instructed us to write out how we felt and how we thought it would affect us. I and many of my classmates wrote about how we would feel displaced, how we would feel lost, how we wouldn't have our own sense of school pride, especially because many of us were juniors at the time, already in a school for more than 2 years. I remember crying through most of the class at just the sheer thought of losing the school that I love so much. But we were lucky, and I say that very loosely, because at the time it wasn't real. At the end of the class, we were told it was just a made-up story to evoke the emotion in us. It was to teach us about the American Revolution and how colonists felt when Britain began to suddenly change policies, create taxes and acts that would drastically change the lives of the people in the colonies, much like how we feel today. Little did I know that years later I would watch this become a reality as my high school was torn down. The place I met my best friends that I still have to this day, where I met my husband, where I hoped my children would go. It's gone, a complete vacant lot. I can't help but wonder how that made the students who attended Parma High during that time feel, to know that what I knew as a history lesson become a reality for them. And this is now what I now wonder about the Page students. My son is in his second year at Page. He's supposed to have 2 more years in this program. This is his home. His best friends are here, the most amazing and understanding teachers, his safe space. He did well enough at his previous school, but he absolutely thrives here, as do many of the other students. There's no boredom. There is only positive challenges and the encouragement that they can do more and be more. I have never known a group of students to get upset to have a snow day or to be off for 2 weeks for winter break. These kids want to be here every single day. They want to show you what they can do and how proud they are to be at this school in this program. They tell students at other schools that they should come to Page, encourage their siblings to do the best that they can so they can attend. My daughter, a second grader, dreamt of coming to this school, so not only did I need to tell my son that after only 2 years out of the 4 he was supposed to have, he will now have to leave this place that he loves so much, I had to also tell my daughter that her dreams of Page were no more. This decision is unfair to everyone involved. We were shown the numbers and the cost for Page, and it doesn't make any sense to us, and it doesn't seem to add up, and we as Page parents are requesting a special meeting with the board in relation to gifted services because we are desperately hoping there is a way to stop this program from shutting down because these kids are worth it.
Next up, we have Shannon Roveri.
Hi, I'm Shannon Roveri at 2903 Liggett Drive. I'm not speaking about Page tonight, but I do want to discuss why School of Choice is being eliminated. I have chosen to send my 3 children, 2 in STEM, 1 in traditional, to Greenbrier Middle School. And this was not an easy choice for my family to make, but I'm glad we did it. At the time we chose to apply for STEM, my son was being greatly misunderstood by his teachers at another school. He needed more out of his education. He was bored, and we decided the active learning style of STEM was perfect for him. My youngest is extremely shy, and I knew STEM would be a great way for her to break out of her shell and find her voice. Unfortunately, this meant a complete uprooting for my then 6th grader, my daughter, and that is no fun for a 6th grade daughter, and especially one with social anxiety and ADHD. Completely ripped her from her friends, thrown into a brand new environment so that I could try to provide her younger siblings with a better learning opportunity. She did choose to decline the STEM option, and since she only had 2 years in middle school left, she went the traditional route. Since our move to Greenbrier, she has pulled nearly straight A's. And this year, her 8th grade year was placed in Honors ELA, a goal she had set for herself in 5th grade at Hillside. Most importantly, she has found herself a strong and wonderful group of friends who accept her for her. She is no longer trying to make people like her by being like them. She found her friend family. When she found out that School of Choice was being ripped out from under us, she has done nothing but cry about losing her friends again and being the new kid at a new building. I think families that are already utilizing School of Choice should be given the option to be grandfathered in and be able to continue on their pathway, i.e. Greenbrier to Valley Forge, etc. I have looked at the enrollment numbers across the buildings in the district, especially the high schools, and Valley Forge has a little over 1,300 students and Normandy has a little over 1,500. And where she and her siblings are zoned, which is where she and her siblings are zoned to attend. That's about 160 difference in pupils between the schools, which is about 40 difference per grade amongst the 4 grades in high school. Nothing crazy. I just don't understand how cutting out this choice saves the district any money. Parents are responsible for transporting their students to that school. There's no busing, and the teachers in classes are already there. Canceling school of choice due to lack of use, which I've also heard and read as a reason, also seems a bit silly. All 3 of my kids want to eventually attend Valley Forge High School, and I hope this program is reconsidered and reinstated for families like mine who do utilize it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nucio, Dr. Hunt, is there anything you'd like to address?
Just briefly, we are reviewing school of choice, especially at the high school levels. We do have a communication that will go out shortly. Dr. Cruz has been deeply involved, and I'm going to ask her if she wouldn't mind just giving a high-level overview. Go to the mic, please. Thank you.
Sure. So just to clarify, anyone who is currently in school of choice has always been given that opportunity to stay. So if there's already been an approval, I don't think, we're looking at clarifying that language because I think there was some confusion around that. But as part of that initial rollout, the school of choice folks are staying in school of choice. If they're in a school, they're staying in that school. And then we are revisiting high school. For those of you who have ever built a master schedule in a high school, there is some flexibility. So whereas a handful of students, maybe in an elementary classroom, might impact staffing, a handful of students at the high school level typically don't have the same schedule. And so we can work around staffing constraints easier at the high school level with that schedule. So even 20 students would not likely have the same schedule in high school. And so we're able to adjust courses and staffing, and maybe where a teacher had coverage like a study hall, that could become a class. So there's different ways to do that in high school. Elementary and middle school are a little bit different, where a handful of students can impact staffing, where we go above a ratio that we're comfortable with in a classroom. So at a particular grade level, if we push above a ratio of, say, 25 or 28 students in a classroom, then that would cause us an additional cost to add staffing. So it's the plan moving forward would be that we will allow for our school of choice to remain at high school because of that scheduling piece, and it's not an implication on our finances. However, at middle school and elementary, we will look at phasing that out. So anyone who is currently in school of choice would remain in that school, and then also we would accommodate siblings who haven't been in school yet. Then they can apply to be in school of choice with their sibling who has already been accepted.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Good. Next up, we have Ms. Edenfield.
Hello, Christina Edenfield, 859 East Hillsdale Avenue, Seven Hills. First, I want to thank you guys for moving the comments up. I have a 4-week-old to get back to at home, so thank you. I'm here tonight to ask for clarity and board oversight regarding the decision to eliminate the PAGE program. We have been told that this was an administrative decision, does not require board approval. As a parent, I'm struggling to understand that explanation. PCSD Policy 2210 states that the board recognizes its responsibility for the quality of the educational program of the schools. It defines curriculum broadly as all planned instructional activities in our schools. The policy also requires that innovative programs be reported to the board with their objectives, evaluative criteria, and costs before they are initiated. So, and PCSD Policy 2250 outlines expectations for rationale, budgeting, and evaluation. So there's a couple policies that, discuss this kind of stuff. If this level of board visibility is required when a program starts and begins, it's reasonable to expect that board involvement is there when it ends. I understand the financial pressures following the levy failure. I supported it. However, any page is a significant instructional change. It affects identified gifted students and their written education plans, and it warrants transparent board discussion. The policy directs the superintendent to actively pursue state and federal aid in support of innovative programs. We were told that, and this was at the meeting on Tuesday with Dr. Hunt, that fundraising wasn't considered to keep page. Neither, we don't have any grants or foundations, nothing like that to preserve page. For a program that only costs approximately $376K, it is reasonable to ask whether outside funding sources were fully explored before we eliminate it. We were also told that besides PVLA, other programs were not evaluated for removal, even though they were also funded the same way. Tonight, I am asking the board to call a special meeting to review these policies, clarify the authority under which page was eliminated, and formally discuss page alongside other possible options for cuts. I also noticed that the policy language is written to promote curriculum growth and continued improvement, not elimination of a successful program. Our students deserve transparency, and they deserve programs that encourage their growth, not the removal of opportunities that are working for them. I've also didn't discuss my son's experience with Paige, but that's because I've sent it in an email to you guys, so I think you've already read it. But I got 13 more seconds, so I'll just say that my son loves Paige. And I'm very worried for all the children that have to go back and worried that they're going to get bullied. That's all I have to say.
There were some questions asked, and is there a response, Mr. Nucio or Dr. Hunt, that you'd like to give at this time or follow up?
I don't know if she had any questions directly on finance.
Okay. Yeah. Is that something you want to follow up, or you want to address it now or follow up?
I'll follow up.
Okay.
I would like to address it. So ORC 3319.01 states that the superintendent shall execute the policies and decisions of the board. Key point, he cannot create, eliminate, or materially change a district-wide program unless the board adopted it or delegated it. We did not do so, and I apologize. I don't know what was considered in eliminating the program because he didn't share it with us.
So we do only have time for one more public comment. So Natalia Jamed. Come forward, please. Natalia Jimenez. Hi.
Hi, my name is Natalia Jimenez. I live at 906 Wexford Avenue. Back in my old school, I was pulled out of class to go to my weekly class with my gifted teacher. I did not like how I would have to carry all my items, Chromebooks, pencils, notebooks, etc. But here at Page, I don't have to do any of that. All subjects at Page are gifted, and we also have competitions such as 24, a math-based number game, which you must get to the number 24 using just the 4 numbers provided. We also had a chess competition and a art competition. Page also provides language classes. World language, we learn ASL, American Sign Language, Spanish, and French. Back at my other school, we never did these things, and not every class was gifted. I have learned so much more at Page, and they have opened so much more learning opportunities to learn higher grade level math, reading, and science. Our school has learned loads of strategies thanks to our awesome teachers. I was always bored in my other school, but now I'm never bored because I always have something to do, and it's always challenging me in a fun way. Page has a hydroponics garden and breakout boxes. I love doing breakout boxes with my partners, and I love gardening tomatoes, jalapenos, basil, and cucumbers. In my classroom, we do lots of projects. One of our projects was about ancient civilization. I did the Aztecs with my 3 wonderful partners. I really want the school to stay open because, like I said in the beginning of my speech, I was always bored until I got to Page. And I don't want it to be like that again with only 40 to 65 minutes of gifted enrichment. I hope you will reconsider your options. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Reyes, since you did the motion for the discussion, I'll yield the floor to you to start.
I move that the Board of Education direct the superintendent to continue the PAGE program in the 2026-2027 school year.
Dr. do we have to amend the agenda for that motion? I believe we do it. So I believe you have, I think you have to amend the agenda to make that motion.
So when he initially motioned to amend, when we initially motioned to move public comment and have discussion, we voted on that to move forward with that.
We voted
Yeah,
on
we
that
did
already?
vote on that, yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
now you're making the motion to vote on it, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Without discussion?
Well, when a question is brought forth, there's debate on the question, so. But if anyone wants to discuss first, please, I can.
Second.
So we're stating we're to have discussion and then we would vote. So I'll yield the floor to you.
So just to clarify, the motion was made and the second was made. So now are we voting on this?
Discussing.
I don't have anything to discuss.
And then voting. Discussing and then discussing the
Okay.
program and then voting is.
I don't have anything to discuss.
Do any other board members have anything they'd like to discuss?
I do.
Yes, Ms. McTaggart.
I guess in reviewing the financials, specifically for Page, not the entire gifted program, because we're not talking about eliminating the entire gifted program. But in looking at Page, it was $376,000, I think, somewhere around there. And, but most of that are teacher salaries. So the program itself is about $8,000 outside of teacher salaries. So I haven't been given an answer on what was considered. So I think that it's important to let us know what was considered in making this decision without the board to eliminate this program when the cost savings is roughly $8,000.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm asking Dr. Hunt, because you made the decision, what was considered.
You were at the meeting
You
the
didn't
other
answer
evening?
that. So if you could answer that, please.
You were at the meeting the other evening when I shared the financial breakdown of the PAGE program, the 4 teachers where the decision was made, we can recoup those salaries in our staffing process, as well as the comparison to the total amount of dollars spent on gifted services.
So the cost savings, though, when you're talking about a reduction in force, are you talking about, so you're going to eliminate or, RIF certain teachers whose salaries are not equal to the Page teachers' salaries?
I
They're
don't
less
know
than.
that yet. I don't know that
You
yet.
did say that the other night, so I was present for that meeting, and
Yeah,
that's what you
I
stated
said
the other
was
night.
the 4 teachers in the program would bump back into a position at a building level. And then when we go through the process of staffing,
We really want to hold a meeting, so if you guys cooperate with us, that would be great. We really want to hear this out.
So the cost savings then, when you RIF the teachers, most of those teachers are called back. And those are Title I or,
I don't know that yet.
You don't know that?
We haven't been through the process of staffing. We're just
We go
opening
through-
registration. And when we go through the staffing process and get our tallies, look at every building's enrollments, look at the licensure of teachers, take into consideration those are who are retiring and where we need to have staffing. That's the process we go through. And I've shared that before. And so when we get to the end of the process, then I'll be able to come back to the board and say, here will be the potential cost savings on staffing this year. Until I go through the process, I can't give you a number.
You can, because in business, when you're making a decision and you're deciding whether or not you want to invest in something, you have a good idea. You should have a good idea of the cost savings, okay? So you should be able to confidently come here and say to the board, because we are supposed to be making that decision when you eliminate a program. We make that decision under ORC, not you, Dr. Hunt. And you are supposed to tell us, hey, this is what we're thinking, and this is why. And then you give us all of the information, including cost savings. So what it looks like right now, there's about $8,000 of potential cost savings. So I would pay close attention to what then in the future is going to happen with that space, because I believe there are already plans, we just don't know about them. It doesn't make sense. We're here for kids, right? We keep saying we're in these retreats, we're here for kids. We have a program that would help pass your levy. People love it. It's a selling point.
It's not my levy.
It's a selling point for PCSD. It is your levy because, again, you didn't give us options. You said 1.75% income tax levy. There was no options to that. Can't.
Thank you.
Fundraising wasn't considered. Does any of the board members, does anyone know why this program was eliminated?
I have a question, and I don't know the specifics in front of me with like enrollment, or if this has been discussed. I mean, it's moving to hear, especially like the students and the parent, like it means a lot. And I think safety goes beyond just physical safety. Social, emotional, mental safety is very important. Has there been conversation about within the 6 elementary buildings continuing a program like PAGE within the home schools? And I don't know if that's financially an option or feasible, or if we have the enrollment to support that.
We also shared the other evening what the programming and the services look like at the building level. So from clustering students, using our gifted intervention specialists. Dr. Cruz, what else am I missing as far as programming? We also have accelerated pathways for curriculum and honors and AP courses as students travel through their buildings.
But not in all courses.
And then another question I had, and I believe this came up in one of the meetings or discussions, was about currently, and correct me if I'm wrong, the families, and I believe from public comment I gathered, are responsible for transporting their own children to PAGE. Is transportation financially not an option for enrollment in PAGE?
I'm not sure. I wasn't here implementing the program, so I'm not sure about the transportation piece of this. But our parents transport for the program.
So I think my question is if we, and I don't know if financially, again, if this is an option, if transportation were provided to students, I would think in turn enrollment may be impacted by that. Is financially, and again, I don't know if that is an option or not. Financially, if we have the staffing to support that with transportation, if we have is that something that has been talked about or considered?
You look at me, so I guess I'll answer the question. Transportation does. That's pretty kind of loud. Transportation does. They come up with the routes which are approved by the board every. I think it's August, September. I'm not really sure, probably August, and they go through how many drivers they need and all the routes. So that sounds like they're adding routes, and I don't know if they have the number of drivers to fulfill those routes. So that'd be something transportation would have to look at. I couldn't tell you that's yes or no answer right now.
Thank you.
Dr. Hunt, so I just want to be clear. I was also at the meeting, and Mrs. Buchanan did a really good presentation about gifted services. I just want to be clear, and I understand that there was an environment that was created outside of, and I think it's important to talk about this, outside of gifted education in the building. So it was more than just gifted education that they were receiving there. Is that correct? There was an environment that was created outside, because let me just clarify. So I've talked to many parents after the meeting, and they shared with me that they believe that their children were getting gifted education all day in the building. So I just want to clarify that it was actually, for lack of a better term, a culture that was created, but their gifted education, actual gifted education, was not all day. Is that correct? I'm talking about, I need to hear her. I'm asking questions. So I'm asking their gifted education, according to their WEPs, right? Somebody on a written education plan, it was not direct instruction all day. Is that correct? That page.
The courses that are offered right now at Page are above grade level or enriched. So it's not tied directly to the WEP in the same way that specially designed instruction is in an IEP. So there's not minutes outlined in the WEP. The WEP outlines the type of service that they're receiving, not by minutes.
Right. So enrichment is different than gifted education according to the Ohio operating gifted standards. Is that correct? That was the clarification I needed. I'm sorry it took me a minute to get to that. And then also, there was a concern, and I just want to clarify too, this is really something that I'm going to tell you personally, and there is not one person in this room that could tell me I'm other than this. And I will always have inclusion at the forefront of my thoughts. And I know that looks different for every child. However, not having access to typical peers is a concern. And I also want to say too, a lot of the things that I've heard tonight about the program is I really would worry about sustainability. So just saying tonight, if we decided to move forward and keep Page another year or 2 years, would we be looking at that 5-year forecast? Would we be able to sustain that? So would we only be prolonging the inevitable is what I'm asking. Whoever could answer.
Well, if we are in fiscal precaution next, which if I'd say if the finances don't change, at this time next year, we will get a letter from the state saying we're in fiscal precaution. We need to come up with a plan to cut services, we have to, whatever, say we're minus, I think it's 4.3 million. It's minus 14 million in the fourth year. So if it's minus $14 million in the fourth year, they're going to say we have to come up with a plan to cut $14 million. And that plan's got to be board approved and sent to the state. And the state's going to periodically, when I say periodically, probably monthly, make sure we're adhering to that plan. And if we're not, they're going to make us amend the plan and make sure we get rid of that deficit in that fourth year, which will be third year next year. So if you prolong it 1 year, would be in the same situation next year. It's possible if our finances don't change.
Thank you.
I appreciate that response, Mr. Nucio. Thank you. But also these discussions right now, that question, and we should have had this prior to cutting a program. And again, we didn't vote to cut the program. We should vote, and we should have had the opportunity to have this discussion and to know and understand why it's being cut. And then meeting with the parents, if the board decided and voted to cut a program because it's no longer monetarily sustainable, then Dr. Hunt or administration would have met with the parents prior to sending an email so that he could speak with them and talk with them and gain an understanding, and we wouldn't be where we are right now. But none of that happened. Due process didn't happen. We didn't vote. We didn't have a discussion. An email went out. There was no meeting. A lot of things should have happened much different. Still, there's a program that's being cut that we didn't approve, we did not vote on, and we're trying to discuss now at the last minute after someone made the decision to cut it when he wasn't given the approval to do so.
Ms. McTaggart, do you yield the floor?
I would like to know and understand the cost savings and what else was considered. I mean, I believe we all deserve answers to that.
I just shared that. Thank you.
You did not. You said that you won't have that answer. So you blindly cut a program that affects kids when we're here for kids without having those answers. We're supposed to have those answers first.
Ms. McTaggart, I have a question. May I hop in?
Yes, ma'am.
One thing, and this is not necessarily a question, I think it's just a thought. One thing that really stood out to me from the emails and the comments this evening is it seems from the students and from the adults, the environment is what's really important. Not necessarily like, and again, this is just my interpretation, not necessarily being physically at Parma Park, but having a classroom setting where the students are feeling safe and empowered and engaged. So my thought is, and I don't know if this is around professional development, like how can we replicate that in their school if they're going to be at their home schools? How can we replicate that environment to create that safety socially, emotionally, academically for the students? And again, I don't have an answer for that thought process. I don't know if it's through professional development. I don't know if it's through environmental modifications in the building themselves, which I know we're limited with because we're busting at the seams. But I think these concerns expressed are very valid. I think whatever we decide moving forward, it's really important that we take everything that was shared tonight in consideration. Thank you.
May I ask Dr. Early?
Yes, Ms. Kirk.
May I ask a procedural question?
Sure.
Okay. So Nick made a motion. The motion was second. At this point, it would be too late to try to table that motion, correct?
I believe since he moved and she's second, I think we would have to vote on that.
So we have, just to be clear, we have to vote on the motion that Nick made.
I would say yes.
Can I ask a procedural question? If someone were to abstain from the vote this evening and we did not land on a majority, what would happen from there?
If you don't get a majority of 3 of the 5 votes, then the motion does not pass.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say too, I'm sorry I didn't say this before. I really just want to thank all the children that came up and spoke tonight. It took a lot of bravery. I commend your advocacy, no matter what happens. And I want to say, no matter what the vote is tonight, that I think this should be a continued conversation on what gifted services are going to look like in Parma City School District. And I would love that you all kept showing up for those conversations. Thank you.
Do any other board members have comments?
Dr. Early?
Yes, Ms. Kerbick.
I'm sorry. I did have 2 questions to Dr. Hunt, if I may. Thank you. Was there a consideration to move Paige into an elementary, middle school building to help give them access to their peers?
That was not part of the discussion.
And was there a consideration of possibly phasing out Paige, like we've discussed, phasing out school of choice to allow the students who are currently in the program to continue with the program, but not take new students into the program?
There was not.
Thank you.
Do any other board members have comments before we move forward with the vote? Mr. Reyes, can you just state for the record again, so we're all on the same page, what the motion is so we know exactly what we're voting for?
Yes, so I motioned that the Board of Education direct the superintendent to continue the PAGE program in the 2026-2027 school year.
Thank you. You already had the second, so roll call, please, Mr. Nucio. Oh, I'm so sorry. Does anyone want to say anything else before we vote? I guess I want to make sure everyone can.
One last thing.
Yes, Ms. McTaggart.
The cut does not make sense. The cost savings does not make sense. We are here for children, a program, and if we consider it at a later date, we need to dive into the true cost savings and really understand what we're taking away from them and why.
Thank you. I just want to clarify my vote this evening before we vote is because I am not certain what my decision is at this time. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart.
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick.
I abstain.
Mrs. Sebastian.
It's really hard. Can I? Yeah, I'm gonna, no.
Dr. Early.
I abstain.
The motion fails.
Motion fails.
Shame on you people.
We are.
You failed the kids. No leadership. You're disgusting. Shame on all of you.
I motion to adjourn the meeting. Second. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick.
Yes.
Mrs. McTaggart.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Yes. Meeting adjourned at 9:31 p.m.